An expert in demining had to cut a woman's clothes to save her, but on the same day, someone took advantage of the situation to accuse him of assaulting a hostage, demanding his immediate suspension. This man is a demining specialist. That morning, a woman was taken hostage by a criminal armed with a bomb. By chance, the man, who was on leave, was passing nearby and seized the opportunity to subdue the criminal. But at that precise moment, the bomb attached to the woman activated. He quickly realized it was an explosive device with a chain reaction trigger. Moreover, the kidnapper had used glue to attach the bomb to the hostage's clothes. To save her life, the man had no choice but to cut her clothes. Just seconds before the explosion, he managed to remove the bomb and flee with it. What he didn't know was that the woman he had just saved was a wealthy heiress. She was about to thank him, but he was interrupted by his phone ringing. After hanging up on his boss, he didn't even give her time to thank him and hurried back to his company. Shortly after, a luxury car stopped by the roadside. To thank him, the woman sent a large sum of money, but she didn't know that the man was already facing injustice. His fiancée, one of them, was accusing him of assaulting the hostage under the pretext of rescue, demanding his immediate dismissal, while he tried to explain that it was an integrated bomb. His fiancée's lover pulled out a book brought from abroad, claiming it contained disarming methods. In reality, this man was her first love, aiming to get him the vice-captain position instead of the hero. She had deliberately accused him, even going so far as to spread the matter online to amplify it. The boss, furious, believed that the man had violated the hostage's privacy, but he quickly understood the whole truth. The boss had already been bribed, selling the vice-captain position for 100,000 euros to this lover. Faced with these three people, the man fell into a rage. He tore up the forced suspension letter. His fiancée threatened him, saying if he didn't suspend himself, he could say goodbye to their marriage. Without hesitation, he took out their marriage certificate scheduled for 3 days later. He tore it into pieces and threw it in the woman's face. The next day, upon arriving at the office, he found the official suspension letter on his desk. The boss announced to the entire team that the vice-captain was suspended for professional misconduct. The new vice-captain would be the man who had just returned from abroad. The team members were furious, because if they had achieved a 100% success rate in demining, it was solely thanks to him. They had all been trained by him, but the boss began to praise the theoretical knowledge of the newcomer, claiming he was far superior. At that moment, an alarm went off. A factory had just discovered a large quantity of bombs. The boss, seeing an opportunity, immediately sent Lehman to lead the team on site to test his skills. But quickly, they discovered it was a new type of bomb. Lehman tried to reassure everyone, claiming his book contained the solution. After 2 minutes of searching, he finally found a method. But one of the students of the real expert immediately understood that something was wrong. Too late, Lehman had already cut a wire. Suddenly, the bomb, which still had nearly 3 minutes, entered an accelerated countdown. The student immediately pushed Lehman away, then, applying the techniques taught by his master, quickly cut the hidden wires. At the very last second, he managed to disarm the bomb. But Lehman took all the credit. And, taking advantage of his vice-captain status, he even forced the young man to write a 10,000-word report. Upon returning, the young woman, furious, removed her work uniform and resigned on the spot. Shortly after, the man returned with his resignation letter for her to sign. He had completely lost all attachment to this demining unit. Lehman mocked him, saying, "Your students, now I'll take care of them in your place." At that moment, his fiancée entered. They had been together for a long time and had even planned to marry a week later. The man completely ignored them and left. He went to the countryside to go fishing, but shortly after, the boss called him urgently. A shopping center was facing a major explosion threat and ordered him to return immediately. The man hung up coldly. "I am no longer part of the team. What does it matter to me?" But just as he had barely taken out his fishing rod, his fiancée called back, crying, "I'm at the shopping center. The kidnapper is going to activate the bomb. Please come save me."